Loud were not done yet as they managed to force map 3 on Crew's pick of Ascent. We're tied up 1-1 as we get ready for Split, which will be the decider between these two teams. And what a series this has been. I mean, genuinely, hats off to Crew. Maybe I huffed a little too much croupium. Maybe Mimi didn't huff enough croupium. Maybe that's why we're in this situation. But it was overall, though, a textbook example of why you should never sleep on Loud.
They cannot keep getting away with this. These guys cannot keep getting stomped in a map number 1 against a team that they have no business losing to and then coming back in ridiculous fashion to rally in the series. It's absurd. This is the 3rd time in a row now, Sean.
It's the 3rd time in a row, and the way they did it was so cool. So Crew takes that timeout at 10-11, and out of the timeout, what does Loud call? They call the Tiles Crunch play with the Odin spamming, Aspas dashing up, Sadak pushing B main, and less of all people opping A. And it just caught Crew off guard big time because they're so disorganized. They have a new player in. They're so focused on doing the right things out of the timeout that they could never anticipate something like that being thrown at them.
And there's just a few of those big swing rounds that they won to rally this back, because let's be honest, the start of that second half, it looked like Crew was about to run away with things right ahead of that timeout that you're talking about. But the thing is that Loud rallied. In particular, I think the way that they played around the A site and the anchors there were so impactful to keep them in that game. For Tuis and Sadak holding things down, they were fantastic and were always buying time for Aspas to get in and find big value against these executes that Crew kept going for.
Yeah, this was the round, right? This was the tipping point. We thought, okay, interesting. You know, they managed to make their way on site. They're swarming A. But then, the plan just all falls apart from there. And it genuinely just felt as if, and this kind of goes to Sean's point, right? When the plan falls apart, it's how you're able to be nimble and navigate that situation. Loud are just better than the rest when it comes to that.
In both these rounds, the reads from Sadak are excellent, calling for this Tiles Crunch out of the timeout, probably with the help of Fraud. But in that first round, recognizing they have a KO out, they're probably going to pop A, and playing that close corner to get the knife off as they're executing to kind of stagger that hit was perfect from Sadak.
It seems so hard to hit these sites when you play against Loud, and they're on point with those swarming into the sites. It felt like every time Crew hit a site in the end part of that game, there's 3-4 people there almost right away from Loud. Their rotations were really on point on the comeback.
Yeah, it really was a masterclass in how to really pull yourself back into a game, right? And that's the reason why Loud are world champions. That's why, this team in particular, runner-up at lock-in, and it's a reason why you should fear them. Also, another player that you should fear, say it with me, chat, Aspas. That's right. Look at this. The name's so nice, I had to say it thrice. 3 maps spread across, and this is history here because, Mimi, this is a position that they've been in before, Loud.
Yeah, it is. This is the stats from map 2s of the last 3 series that Loud has played. And in every single map 2, it is Aspas who turns up big time to help be the catalyst for his team to come back.
That's actually crazy. It's so insane how when this team loses, their star player can just kick it into another gear, almost like some kind of anime character.
It really is.
It just dominates map 2.
He is living his anime arc right now.
It's so unreal.
It's genuinely incredible to see a player take control of a game like that, especially Valorant that, at times can be a little weirdly fluky, depending on the circumstances, like random headshots coming through. No. Aspas just commands the game.
He's so consistent. It reminds me of Optic when they were at their peak, when they would lose a map and Ye would look like he just gets mad and go insane. It's the same exact thing with Aspas, but he's almost doing it even more consistently than that. And now we head to a map number 3. Of Split. It's the same scenario we saw in both of Loud's games of Super League. And now the question, does history repeat itself? Will Loud just stomp this map number 3?
Just also want to remind people, just so you know, letting y'all know. Last time we were in a map 3 with Loud, they played EG.
30 note.
And you know what happened that time, right, Sean? Right, Mimi?
I try to forget, GB, every time you remind me.
Oh, man. I don't think that's going to happen here, though. I actually think we're seeing a very game version of Crew. I just hope that loss didn't knock them out too much because genuinely they did lose, 5-6 rounds straight. That can rattle you. So
speaking of those consecutive losses, they have 4 straight here on Split. And they're going up against a team that's been picking Split almost all season. I mean, Loud is so comfortable in this map. Aspas opting the A site, rotating around to Heaven. This is just his battleground.
And this is another comp that KRU is playing where in the current meta, Loud has been the team to champion it. They have loved this double duelist comp. It is the map that I think they've gone to the most thus far since lock-in, and they have won it almost every time. The double duelist composition works for them. Aspas is playing at the peak of his game. It's gonna be so hard for KRU.
Well, if KRU can manage to win here, it's gonna be the upset to end all upsets. Let's get ready for this map 3. Send it over to Doug and Bala. What do you guys think's gonna happen here?
Yeah, it's tough to say, Bala. GB, Bala. I will say
I didn't say anything.
I will say this, though. We've talked a lot about how Loud, last time they went to map 3, they 13-0'd EG, and it was historic, whatever.
Yeah.
In that same series, EG beat Loud 3-13 on Split.
Yep.
Right? So there are a bit of both things that we can pull from as far as depth of wells.
I was definitely thinking the exact same thing coming into this one. But then I start to look at the KRU side, and Ash Shetty is asked to play a third different role in this game, going to the double duelist here.
That's a really good point.
You're going for the mirror comp. Law definitely popularized this again. Obviously, it was a comp that was run prior to this, but at lock-in, they brought it out and it looked great. Sadak on the raise too. He's playing an off role.
Holy mid presence. Everyone is here.
Spike down.
Kill's gone either way so far. The spike just sitting harmlessly across the middle of the map on the other side of the Viper wall, but Tui snatches it up. You're right, now they want to pivot towards A, where Celeste has already taken a lot of space, but the space is gone.
I mean, fantastic Molly. That melted him. That was surprising. But it pulls them all over. Thinking that they're going to come back into it. They hear them hit the B site, though.
Vision.
Smoke up. Aspas stays with 7 HP.
I'm reminded of that updraft with 1 HP on Ascent to get that kill on the double buy.
This is such a risk. I think if he targets down Melzer, this could be huge. Melzer does have a star. He could smoke off B main. Already did, actually. So it kind of nullifies Tui's, but they hold mid control, which allows them to play post from Heaven here. This is really interesting.
Can Aspas afford to be selective? Nope, drops the first.
It cleared B main. Come on, man.
I mean, Melzer's worse for wear as well. 75 HP. He's dashing in. Of course he is. Of course he is. Facing into the smoke, into the kill, and into the round for Loud.
Come on, man.
Dude, he just plays at like a different level.
That's that long range frenzy too. You're right, man. The Dust touched on the map 2s from him. I would have loved to see the map 3s too.
Yeah.
Poison's gone.
Because this is just ridiculous. And I have such fond memories of Aspas playing this map so far in this Americas League. Because when he gets the hop online too, it's a sight to behold. He just is so fluid with his movement.
This is gonna be fun.
And Loud take the first pistol on the attack side. It's always weird on Split now with this double duelist comp, exactly how the map tends to go.
This round already tending to go towards Loud. Hasn't tried getting an aggressive angle with the Marshall and maybe get a free one, but too much. And Les getting 2 there through the decay.
And they're just not managing to get much here on the Seco. Site's cleared as well. There was a sky flash in the back of B. Still going through all the motions. Final star not ready to get put up as a smoke yet. And they want the time.
He's gonna get contact here. Spots at least one and very responsibly chooses not to fight again.
Yeah, I think being happy to take that first fight is based off the fact that he knows he can't get one shot by anything. So not a big risk, but now he's alone. Now they could give up a Phantom. Of course it's Aspas, so he probably won't.
He's got the dash ready. While Ash Shetty's surrounded. Kamanzine on the flank, but Aspas, of course, gets the kill. See, what, 5-0 already?
5-0 start for the man on your screen. Now we get to the bonus. On Pearl, both sides converted theirs. On Ascent, it was different. Less. Ooh, I mean, that second kill is ridiculous. Credit to him. Love this dash as well for Aspas to get to safety. Let's see. Loud are definitely not a team that likes to go for like mid-aggression to cancel the orb from the Viper that gets put down here by Nagzet. They go for the flash instead. And they're conserving a lot of util by not going for the type of thing that EG was against them. Instead, look at the fast pivot. Threatening some mid-pressure, falling back into less.
Les hasn't really gotten any info, though.
Twiz as well. That's big damage.
Not only is it big damage, but it's presence, too. That causes a rotate. There was an Astro Star there, but Keznit now dancing around.
There's a flash for him.
It's got to be fast, though. There it is. Even in the face of the Molly, he's able to get the kill. Keznit trying to play back sight. Eventually overwhelmed.
And losing that flash ability from Klaus now, too, does not allow them to continue to swing out through heaven. Instead, they're going to challenge Twiz. They know he's going to be late flanking. Down ramp here. Melzer also, you see him being cautious. Seekers pop, though. Now pressure onto these two players.
Both spotted. The question is, when does Tui strike? Still trying to control A main.
Us took so much space. Wouldn't be surprised to see another flash if it comes back up. Four less up there.
Or he just gets the kill on his own.
Doesn't need it, and Tui's finding the timing as well.
One enemy remaining.
Kawazine getting pressed, and he gets 3.
Bonus converted by Loud. The rifles they brought into it, too strong, and I love the fast pivot. It definitely pressures these anchors so significantly. And I think the thing that the team, at least EG, and what Leviathan and EG were doing yesterday on Split was relying on actually the sky being the anchor and giving space to Keznit to float. Instead, he's in sight. He's the first to be challenged. He's the first to fall.
Nags choosing a judge. No armor here. As he plays by ropes. That might be exactly where Louder headed.
Yeah, but he's not actually on top of ropes, so this Boombot gonna clear it. Now he goes for it. It's nothing, no bite to that judge. Trying to get up the rope, it's just too difficult. And I think going for extremity hold, like A main or something like that, behind the smoke is much better given the clearance that's coming.
Deep flash out from Kawazine, and Ash said he had nothing he could do there. Meltzer's taking some space, but once again he finds himself surrounded. I mean, they've got Lattice members on site, they have members at spawn.
Oh my goodness, that is nasty. From Tui's too.
One enemy
He's been
remaining.
cold-blooded since Ascent, really. Since what, the second half of Ascent?
Yeah.
It just seems like he's hit another gear.
At first map, he went 3 and 17, so what a step up from him. Four and 0. What a start.
And Aspas with another multi-kill round. Just continuing to pile him up.
Is that every round? That was almost every round. I'm not
Might
sure about
be.
the bonus, but disgusting from him.
And that mid play is so tough too because Kawazine was technically closer than Aspas, but
Yeah.
he was blocked by the model of the judge. He didn't see him.
Oh, really?
And so the only angle he took was onto Aspas. Which is just tough, you know, maybe if he spots
Unlucky.
the other one. Yeah, unlucky at the end of the day.
That's one of the things that I was saying. I think the judge positioning could have been slightly better in that.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, it's just an eco, not a big deal. He does have that. Does get time now for Kezen to get this op online. And this could be the first time out early here for Crew. 4-0 start, definitely not one they want to go up against. It's not the end of the world. Either way. I did get confirmation 3 out of the 4 rounds so far. He's gotten a multi-kill.
That's not too bad.
8 and 1 for Aspas. What a start. And it's interesting too. Talking about the multi-kills. Aspas, clearly, I think for most, the best player in the Americas League right now. He has .27 multi-kills per round. That's easily the highest. So the impact that this guy can have, the swinginess that he can have, a quarter of rounds, he's getting a multi-kill. Which is a round where he gets 2 kills or more.
Yeah, just dumb.
Next closest is Leaf, who's going for 1 and 5.
Aspas has as many kills as Crew does combined.
Okay.
That should tell you everything.
Again, this is where push comes to shove now. Crew need to find some way back into this, but the pressure's already on this B side. Remember, mid pressure into a hit. Aspas up and over.
That's what played to even around the flash, like waiting until the flash goes, so for him to take that space, but Meltzer continuing to be a menace as an anchor. That's 2 for him.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think Klaus pulled off just a little
How's he
early.
alive? If he gets this kill, I'll be so mad. There we go, I said it. Gets denied.
Spike planted.
The ult was the window. Kesnit's gonna show up late with the op,
I mean,
and it's dropped.
oh my god.
Dude, none of the Loud members are smiling either. You know, we saw it out 2Es earlier, and we go, okay, yeah, he's just a little pissed off, but no one showing any reactions.
It's funny too, because the demeanor on stage before the game starts, it's all laughter from Aspas. He's like showing off his mouse pad to people. I'm like, what are you saying? Like, you're sitting back. But as soon as the game started, remember, on Ascent, there's that desk slamming from Les to get them back into this, like he's playing basketball, slamming the court.
And it looks like full court press out from Crew. Look at how far up they've skilled.
Look at the
Behind this wall.
anti-flash. Kaunzi's playing anti-flash.
He's rewarded with 1.
Spike down A.
The spam from Aspas dealt a little bit of damage here. I don't know how he still gets 1 out of Sadak. That's insane.
I mean, that's really quick too.
Yeah.
He's going back for more.
Of course he is.
Kesnit's crazy. They've got advantage on the eco. But do not bite off more than you can chew here. The problem here, no guns recovered. They couldn't get deep enough. And the judge again, Les avoids it.
Different angle here, just threatening and waiting. Biding time for someone to push him up ramps. But I don't know that they're going to.
You are divided.
And it's going to be so much harder to find value with that judge.
He's in trouble.
Yep, he's gone up a bit too far.
Oh, gosh.
Get away.
They're getting the pit, though. But that judge could come up big. They need to get in. Oh, the team flash.
Oh, my
no.
gosh. Aspas finding it with the shorty. Nags,
Everybody has shorties here for Loud.
of course, in the pit. It's just going to be chaotic.
One enemy
Kazir
remaining.
trying to spam into the pit with knives, and that's a difficult ask.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, that's going to make the frag movie.
It makes the highlight reel. But, I mean, yeah, that was pretty okay. It makes everybody gasp for a second. I wonder, though, if there's actually room to breathe here for Crew. It doesn't feel like it. They recover a 3v5. On their anti-eco, sure, that's where that stat gets padded for most teams. But still, it felt like they had that. It felt like they were about to pinch 2Es. But 2Es makes the mad dash back in the pit, and Loud, sometimes they make these split-second decisions.
Uh-oh, that's too aggressive. He's going to get hunted down. Oh, but Klaus was there for cover. He's still outside of the pit, though, and he can't safely get back to put it back up.
Yeah, he's giving it up now, too, but this Trailblazer's buying time, and Kesnit gets a kill with it. Spamming on where the Trailblazer finds it, so Loud find themselves back in a 3v5, just like last round, but the gun's here for Crew. Signs of life now.
Situation slightly different here. Klaus flash. Kesnit dead.
I mean, there's no way.
Again.
Cow and Xena is such a monster in these situations.
Nags?
No way. Dude, on demand, Loud start with a ridiculous lead here, and they're probably getting up to 7 right now. Look at the flank from Les again. He's consistently in screens, man.
You called it, too. It was different. It's a different 3v5, but they don't drop a single member.
I love this. Loud is putting on a show. 7-0 first half so far on attack side split. What can these teams in the Americas League do? I mean, they push them as hard as they can, but then Loud take off the training wheels. They take off the training weight.
Yeah, what anime is that? Where are you gonna be able to help me here? Where there are weights on the ankles and he drops them and the smoke comes up. And what anime is that? Help me.
Dragon Ball? I mean, what?
Dragon? No, it's not Dragon Ball.
It's every anime of all time, bro.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Crew choosing to go aggressive towards B this time, and they've left 2, potentially even a 3rd.
Nags, I mean, so many times he's gone for the judge. The timing is so unlucky. Is it Naruto?
Maybe. It might be. It might be. Someone will tell us on Twitter, I'm sure.
Toxins going up.
Nags once again getting pressed. He's got the judge. He's gonna have a
Oh,
lot
we
of
go.
targets
Finally,
here.
Finally, there it is. Spike down
mid.
2. Sadok has to recover. Can you? Yes. I was not expecting to say yes. I was expecting to say no.
I wasn't either.
Less again. If they bring this one back, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Crew might as well. Oh dear. All right, that secures it, surely.
Surely.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah. Sadok gets a spike down. He has the ult. It's a 2v3, and he's weak. Les is gonna find really nice timing here as long as he's patient.
They're running away. They're scattering into less.
There's no way.
It's planted for heaven too.
Are they?
The time bought. This damage done. He's playing for the molly as well.
And Les is gonna find timing. He's gonna find value.
Last player standing.
No, they can't do it. Kills found. And crew will avoid the same fate that we saw last week.
Thrifty.
They will avoid the 0-round win and get to the first. It's funny, it's on a Thrifty again.
Yeah.
I mean, these last 4 rounds, I feel like have been 3v5, 4v5, just advantage squandered.
Yeah, they've been messy. They've been very messy.
I'm wondering if Loud there, I mean, getting way too comfortable in that situation. They go back into that judge, try to drop down on Nags, but he just makes quick work of Ospas.
Deep flash, and he's gonna get some info. Sadok is weak. Woo.
Advantage again.
We've seen this too many times. Free to be fooled. Another 3v5.
Down A.
What is that, Klaus? This is silly.
Poison's on.
Looks like Ashedi may find a timing across mid too as the walls go down.
They've got the Heaven repeak too, out of Nags.
Ooh.
One enemy remaining.
Nice smoke from Kesnan as well to help out. Look at the position though from Melzer. He should secure it. There's no way he's. How are you expecting this?
Oh, and I thought he was so close to getting the kill.
He had the crosshair placement for it.
Yeah.
Crew's second. There's smiles over here. There are smiles. And may I remind you, by the way, Crew, this is a must-win scenario for them. Basically out of playoffs. There's a couple of scenarios where they can get back in. Obviously, we have so many teams in the league that at this point in the season, it might feel late, but there's still hundreds of combinations of outcomes. So Crew not mathematically negated from the playoffs, but pretty much. They'd have to win out with opponents such as Lev, Sentinels, and Cloud9 up next.
Everything would have to go perfect. The stars would have to align. Mercury would be in Gatorade or retrograde or whatever it is. Everything would have to be perfect.
Do you even know what that means?
No. Not at all.
I was going to say, aren't you a biologist or something? And then I realized it's chemistry.
Blocking vision.
Mid presence from Loud. A little bit of spam through. And they've threatened this area of the map a couple of times. No judge here, though. Seekers got stuck for a little bit.
They're so silly around those ropes. Loud, I mean, finally going for something standard, taking the mid control away from Nags. And Nags have been really passive on that approach, but look at this double up setup. One player on the pillar, one player in main. They're never going to expect this.
And then one in spawn, too. Well, the first is down.
I mean, they don't need to expect it if they're taking down everybody else.
Oh!
Woo!
He was cold!
Melzer in main, too. He's pressuring Kawanzini. Has to go up new box. And Crew have just put together 3 in a row. All of a sudden, they're still in this.
Dude, that snap from Klaus was filthy.
Disgusting. Why is he crouching like that there?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
A lot of slowly. Actually, quickly. Lost their grip. 3 in a row now for Crew. Timeout called from Loud.
Boom, bro.
That's nasty stuff.
That looked magnetic. I mean, just snapped right onto him.
One enemy remaining.
And then we see that Melzer just trying his best to find Collins, who's running away from him. Okay.
We'll ignore that one.
I feel like Loud just in that last round did go back to the standard approach. We're taking mid-control, forcing the Viper to fall off, and forcing an advantage then on the split, which is where their bread and butter was. Throughout the majority of their split attack sides up to this point. But recognizing early, Crew wants to go for that. Let's try to abuse the weaknesses of the 1-3-1 setup on defense. And just pushing up on one of the sites. Again, I think that shifted in the last round. Let's see if Fraud agrees with that shift or he wants to go back towards sending it on the sites. I mean, they did get to 7 because of that. Earlier on, shifting of their approach and their game plan.
Same Viper wall we've seen, I believe, every single round. We'll see what they choose to do with it as we enter the 11th.
I mean, 2 more rounds for Crew, and this is very, very doable. I wouldn't even be super sad with the 4th if, based on what started this all off, and how abused Loud got when they played defense against EG.
It wasn't pretty. I wonder here too, Tui's just waiting for this B main aggression.
Grenade!
He's 1 point off his ult. Last is 1 point off his ult as well.
That's so close. I think one more bullet would have taken him down.
Yeah, 7 HP.
Let's go get the heal from Klaus.
Poison's off.
Meet up and spawn. Trailblazer to follow up, but this is just a feint right now. I know they have the— oh no!
That's a brutal way to go.
I mean,
Welcome to the show, kid.
wasn't he just getting healed?
Yes.
Ay, ay, ay.
Poison's off.
Yeah, I mean, the rounds allowed are dominating in where they get the advantage. It just looks so clean. It looks like every single shot is hitting. And now, this is what I was talking about.
30 seconds
All that
left.
mid presence was a feint for Aspas and Les to walk up together and take duels. So Les, normally he's in a lurking position trying to find advantage by himself, but here they can go for advantage by trading.
President trying to buy some time and provide some cover, but Aspas wants to hunt.
What a molly.
Enemy remaining.
It's so free. Aspas, by the way, switched to the Vandal in the middle of this game.
1 point from Blades now, and a flawless round for Loud.
Last round before
Strong
the switch.
response.
Can't take anything.
Again, when they're getting these first kills, it is really easy for them to convert. I'm just stunned by how they've started off on this map.
That feels so bad too. I mean, the Trailblazer could have gone into ropes to try to push back Melzer, but yeah, truly unlucky. Kesnit with the op still. And it looks like he's gonna peek down a main off that deep flash. Confirmation that someone's close by. Aspas is here with Blades, but Kesnit's close by, and off the Trailblazer, get some confirmation on where they are. The dash procced.
Nice molly. That's going to give a lot of space for them to follow up here with the Trailblazer too. Pressured, and look at Les, he's out. Kesnit might have just spotted him, but I don't think so. Oh, no.
Both on Blades, but they're traded right back. Klaus from heaven trying to find a little bit more as Aspas goes aerial.
What a weird cosmic divide.
Yes.
There's nobody in the site. And that gives Tuiz the opportunity to backstab. Misses his chance. Two v 4. I mean, these situations have been really good for Loud so far. They've won 3 out of 5 of the 4v5s.
Two 3v5s at one as well.
It comes down to these moments late where they whittle
30
it down.
seconds left.
The two duelists
Spike planted.
with an opportunity to snatch another round away.
There IGL involved too. Aspas does not have a dash, but he does have the knives.
Sadak does have two satchels, so a little bit of mobility in play here. Nags holding the
player
line,
standing.
and he holds it well. And Aspas is just going to be overwhelmed. He's trying to bide his time, and it's just too much. It's just too much.
This is, again, I mentioned
T8.
a moment ago how I would have been happy with Crew getting 4 here. It's not the greatest of defensive sides, but given the start 7-0 we had, of course you're going to be happy if you're Crew to get back into this slightly.
Couple of small moments that could have gone the other way. Either way, Crew find themselves at 4, and we find ourselves going to the analyst desk.
Thank you so much for that one. I just dropped all my stuff on the floor. But yes, thank you so much for that, Doug. And what a turn of events we saw transpire there. It looked like we were on track for another, loud special, but instead we end up getting a comeback from Crew. This is nuts, Sean.
Yeah, they made it competitive. This was actually disgusting. That Aspas gets both of those kills with the frenzy from B Heaven. He didn't have the most kills this game, but dear God, the rounds that he popped off, he just carried Loud through several of these rounds.
It's what Tuck and Bala were talking about so much. When Loud have an advantage, they have a huge advantage. Every time Loud got an opportunity, Crew was sending people in one at a time, making these unforced errors, panicking to get a play, and you could see it on their faces. It looked like they were absolutely boomed. But they got a few rounds. They got something. If you can win the pistol, there's still a chance to make this competitive, but the issue is, in third maps, in these close series that Loud have been playing, they're always winning them, and they're always closing them out dominantly. Again, Sentinels 13A, and that 13-0 we talked so much about against EG as well.
Yeah, good note there. And, oh, man, but I think if you're Crew, you're very happy. This could have gotten way worse than where it was, because you start off 7-0 and then you end 8-4. Kind of impressive.
It could have, but it's also in the back of your mind that you just kind of choked away Ascent.
That's true. That does have to be in their mind. But scraping away 4 rounds at the end, honestly, this probably feels within reach for them. And it is. If they win pistol, this is their game. They're running a double duelist comp. They'll be on the attack side. They've put up rounds here in the past. And this is very, very doable with a pistol.
But this is against Loud, who's so strong on the defense of this map. Watch for Aspas. Sean, you were talking about him in the pre-show. His anchoring on the A site and his ability to pivot quickly on this map is incredible. Crew is going to have a sound game plan to shut that down.
Well, look, folks, if you're Crew, this is it. You have no other choice. Get it done here. But if you're Loud, you got to keep that perfect record alive. Doug, Bala, over to you.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Yeah, just one half to decide it. Crew find themselves down 4. But there is an opportunity at this, again, especially given the history, given what we've known has taken place on this map. The defensive side for Loud has left a little to be desired before.
Yeah, the score that was on there. The EG game. In the map 3s, they're great. But they started that series on map 1 of Split, and it was a devastating half. They only got 3 rounds total on that one, but it was the defense where they started. Pistols rounds have gone both ways. There's actually a ground fall and a nade here. Klaus needs to get out of it.
And they get out of it by sending 3 into spawn. There's no way you expect this if you're 2Es, yeah.
He's alone too. It's surprising to see Kalanzine so late on the rotate.
Less than frenzies. Getting one. Sadak trying to dance around, looking for another, and he cannot.
Looks like we're going to trade pistols again here.
Aspas with the dash, proc from far away. They've identified where one is. That flash looking to set Aspas up, and it does buy him some space, and it buys him some time to work his way forward right into Klaus's crosshair, though.
This triple swing is brutal to deal with, though. And again, each map has gone 1-1 on pistols. That's where it started. The Dust was touching on it. With a pistol win, this is very doable. Without that, very difficult.
Yeah.
Still probably doable. But very nice. I like that smoke, too.
Enemy remaining.
Out of Melzer to help the players get back out of spawn. That's really nice. Little addition to that spawn push that had such success on catching Tui's. Ooh, and I'm seeing the stars being put out by KRU as default, and I'm having flashbacks. Loud have got to be thinking the same thing. Those are the exact same default stars that EG was using and was punishing mid so easily with.
All toxin screen down.
Down to 21 HP. Ooh. They've gone back and forth here, which you do not want if you're KRU. This is not safe.
One enemy remaining.
Good catch out of Kesnet.
Peppered and disposed of his last as Kesnet gets 3 on the round.
I'm amped. Let's
Placing
go.
himself in the
I
same
got things to
position
do.
that Aspas did have on that first half as well. Kesnet starting off with multiple multi-kills.
Got a little swagger, a little attitude out of KRU at the end of that round there as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because, like I said, in that first half, they were the ones laughing on the other side of the stage. Crazy. The situation that was in front of them, they're actually, they look comfortable right now.
Hey.
Not gonna be happy with that dink though.
Nope.
But Les is gonna be happy to see that smoke that star not turned into a grab well. Dashing out on the B here, Tui's though. Sadak's helping him.
And Kesnet's separated. He's up by himself. Ashedi can join very quickly with the 2 satchels, but Kesnet backside. Now Ashedi shows up and it's too late. His comrade's already dead.
Too stupid.
Feeling a little bit more pressure.
One enemy remaining.
Tui's with 3 on the round. That was a clean one. Klaus has to do it all on his own as Tui's gets 4.
Cloud stop them in their tracks. That is a disgusting anchor from Tui's. Escapes by a thread. Running around that pillar. Right after he gets this kill on the Kesnet, but then the follow-up kills too. By the way, he got stunned by that Trailblazer coming through and still manages to do this. Continue to touch on the fact that Tui's had such a rough map 1. 3 kills total, 3 and 17. But now here, the guy is alive and well. He was so good on Ascent. Part of the reason why they were able to close that map out and hit that comeback. Oh, this is really close to them.
But there is help. Second flash in the swing, but they had gotten so much time that they could tuck behind the wall and the flash not mean a thing.
I thought the timing was good for them to go for that re-clear on ramp, but it just wasn't. They get punished again. That was another place where they were getting punished by EG.
KRU decide to throw the brakes on the round. The spike still sitting by itself. Not in tow with anyone as they find themselves in a numbers advantage.
They're stacking, Doug. All 4 players going over to Sadak with the judge. He's called it.
What's the read, though?
Just fully expecting based off of the re-clear on A ramp. And KRU is not falling for this. Not of their own choice. They're not looking for info, but they were planning on going for a split anyway. So Sadak makes the wrong call. And
I'm really surprised, too, that Les in his position couldn't hear any of that. I thought he might hear them going down ropes, thunderfooting their way in the rotate.
He heard a little something. That's why the rotate's coming before the spike even comes down. Now the spike planted, though. There is a cosmic divide, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Loud decide to save even after 1 mistake here.
Wait, Sadak is ahead of this.
He's got to judge.
He knows there's someone close. He
They're
knows there's
backing
someone
off right
close.
now. They're backing off, and the player spawner not taking any space, so that could have been a mistake there. Out of Nags, that forced Loud to go back for it. What a call. I mean, it's uncharacteristic for Loud to go for such a gamble. But felt that losing Kalanzine was way too much. Honestly, it might have been that they felt that Aspas wasn't in his position with the HP that he had to hold A by himself.
Yeah.
He didn't have his dash either. And KRU immediately respond after not able to convert the bonus, but this is a tough spot. 4 weapons saved. This is a tough round. You would have hoped if you were KRU that you actually got couple guns down there, and force them to save instead.
They're full strength.
But look at actually, you're not going to get this op online for Aspas for quite a long time. He's actually reinvesting armor, getting back up to max, because again, he took so much damage early in that round.
They're going to post him aggressively into B too.
So that save delays his op. That could be a key win factor and condition for Loud.
Crew only spotted one there. Melser just spotted Kamazine.
Oh
my gosh.
They thought he got him that stun. Yeah, the Trailblazer went in. Bit of peace out of him.
Concealment.
The shorty's just too good. Remember last time they got pressured by walking up past this orb. This time Crew's going for the opposite, walking out screens.
Poison's off.
But Sadak is still close by. They've left Melser as the tail, right? The late rotate over while Sadak just satcheled his way across down ramps, and he has no idea that Melser's here.
Blocked his vision for a second, and now they're trying to chase him down, but he's running away, puts his skates on.
And all it does is buy time. All you're doing is distracting Loud from the main objective here.
Doesn't have a grab. Oh, actually, he does. He has a star on the spike already. This defuse is going to be difficult.
How does Nags get that kill? There was a stun at his feet. Nags gets another. Looking for any target that dare swing into his crosshair.
Oh, Aspas got a spray
remaining.
control.
Another round for Crew. Smile's getting bigger and bigger with every round that goes their way.
And I think Loud have hurt themselves severely by going for that save in the prior round. Aspas is not going to get his op up for 6 rounds
Spike plantada.
in this first half, or in the second half. He might not even have it next. Going for the shorty in a smoke. But there's 3 players here. Out a lot on this defense of A, and Crew is definitely continuing to bring the fight towards this A side. Gotta feel out the eco though. That's Tui's smoke. Whew.
Well, he knows there's presence now.
There's a gap.
There's
a
gonna go
pocket.
unchecked. It's gonna go unchecked.
It's ridiculous. Oh no!
He still gets one and gets away.
Got the Vandal.
That's just criminal. But Kesnet on the trade. Now Les has picked up the weapon and instantly gets put back down.
Loud's gonna give up the lead here. A big attempt at that. Aspas had the opportunity, but it is tied up. And I have to say, we hear the applause right now, but on this Monday, the players on stage, I'm hearing them so loud. The Crew players are feeling it, and they know they're on the verge of getting their potentially first win here in the Americas League. The first win for them with this iteration of the roster for 8 against VCT teams. Timeout for Loud. And I do have to say, immediately I'm seeing Aspas does have the money for an op. Has money for light armor with the op.
Maybe that's a difference maker.
Yeah. Key win condition is getting him an op in the hands. And they've lacked it for 5 on the second half. Defense so far looks like it's going to continue to be a struggle point for Loud on split.
Yeah.
Crew is pushing them. Every single map has been close. I mean, we thought, don't forget, this was a 7-0 start from Loud. 7-0, they've only won 2 rounds since.
That just seems like an eternity ago.
This was a disgusting comeback from Crew. Not only a chance at a miracle comeback here in the 3rd map, but a chance to start their miracle run back towards playoffs and bring themselves even in reach if they make it to playoffs of keeping the international streak alive. That's a beautiful grab ball to counter.
That's so pretty in the Roomba in his face too.
I mean,
I don't know how he survived.
a double dive in mid, I've never seen it just get denied like that, straight up. with the grab vote. Primed. But it does give them mid control, so calling the brakes on the strat. Cowan's in a position where he can get punished here if Les is not able to stop them from coming through heaven. They're going for the re-clear in main.
Les is the only one close by here. There's going to be a little help. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, Cowanzine is an absolute beast.
This does go back to, I believe you were the one who said this earlier, it feels like when LAT are winning their rounds, it's just dominant, right? They just obliterate their opponents. It's clean.
Yeah. I said that in the first half. I don't know if I'm feeling the same here in the second half. But you're right. I mean, this is an example of that.
Yeah. I'll have a chance at a flawless one. Klaus and Kesnet, the only two that remain.
30 seconds left.
Aspas is going to be feeling some of this pressure with the op, but he's put himself in a position where he can get away.
This is terrible for him.
Well, is he going to get away?
Dancing around the walls and the flashes.
Oh,
Sadak.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that was not Sadak.
We'll have to see that one from his POV.
He doesn't even react, man.
Oh, it's just another day in the office.
The dude is just like fighting a war by himself.
I hope we get to see that from his POV to see what that last one looked like.
I'm betting it's a no-scope. Here's Sadak saving him.
Just at the right time, too, man.
Oh, my goodness. Loud clap back, get the lead. As soon as Aspas gets the op. It wasn't the major factor, but it was a big one. Kesnet's going to be here by himself. And it's interesting, too, because if Kesnet shows himself, they can get this hit, but it's going towards B, and they're actually going first, so Kesnet's a lurker here.
Yeah, but you can see the pings on the minimap. I think they know.
You are divided.
Astrawall out. Yeah, Aspas must have spotted him.
Everyone leaving except for Aspas. Now the pit. Is that enough to pull him off? Showstopper going straight into it. Sadak?
He knows he's in the pit. Can he get the kill?
Yes, he can. Pit now down.
By the way,
Jets continue to fight A.
Aspas still holding against Kesnet right now, but he's in big trouble. That flash that spotted there was a player through that wall now forces him to be in a pinch and play out of this. Sadak has to save him again.
Do they clear him, though? I don't know why you would. They vacated the space! And now Blades on for Aspas!
Last player standing. Soul shots.
What a mess. What a mess.
Up online for Aspas, now 2 in a row for Loud. And Tui's has still got that look in his eyes. Oh my goodness.
They invested the pit, the Viper's pit. They invested the Cosmic Divide. That was a costly round.
Final timeout for Crew. Final chance to recoup and figure out how to neutralize Aspas's op. I don't feel like the setups have been focused around that. That last call to have Kesnet walk past the Viper wall into that cubby and go for that B fake. It did put him in a precarious position, but they weren't really focused on the idea of clearing Aspas off of ramp.
Yep.
They didn't know he was there, so that's the big thing. It's really difficult to find where Aspas is going to be opping. But at this point, the conversation has to be around that op. He's such a dominant player. He's such a crucial factor to bring down this tower of Loud.
A 20-14 performance out of Kesnet, who now has his Blades.
Yeah, but they're forcing into this. Forcing into this with Kesnet's knives. Klaus forcing a Bulldog light armor. That's all he could afford. 3 players can afford rifles, though. Looking to see where Les wants to use this. He did put that wall that's been so good, actually, for Loud, which is actually different. It's slightly deeper back into the defense, so he's putting down that orb. Viper pit in mid. Leaves Tui's.
Tui's backside. Hasn't been cleared. I mean, between him and Aspas, that's as good as it gets. That was such a quick rotate too, but Ashedi.
The substitute.
Potentially a star in the making if he continues to make plays like that.
Missed shot.
And a shot at this for Crew.
One enemy remaining.
1v1 now. Aspas weak.
10 HP.
And the op. Meanwhile, Melser, with all of the options before him, you wonder here.
He's so patient. How is he waiting for him to peek out elbow?
Yeah, I don't. Now he goes. Dead before he hit the ground.
My goodness. That push from Machete. He started off that round by getting Graveld and actually pencil jumping with his satchels. He was trying to take space and flubbed it. But they're able to take down. Tui's on site. And he pushes deep. They've got to go deeper, though. That was a broken buy last round. And the economic woes. They actually didn't have many because two players had still money to buy in the next. Another fast attempt. They left a spike and spawn. That's actually going to delay Melzer for so long. They're hitting the side anyways. No pivot. Call.
They invested so much. Oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
Another.
Kesnis? What? Two times they get in spawn like that.
That was fast too.
But 3v4, excuse me, and Spike not planted yet because they messed up on the freeze time.
And they left it in spawn. It's
There's a
just
grab
now
on the
arriving. They spotted where he is, Kesnet.
He's planning for heaven. Les has the opportunity to run up here, but he's being held on ramp.
Planted.
They've got to be able to reestablish heaven control if that's what it's planned for. Aspas has already dashed his way out onto the site. Melzer and Kesnet both weak as Aspas gets a third.
Oh, no.
Now they're trying to re-explore, and this was the plan all along, but Les was ahead of it.
And that flash just cleared ramp too, so they know he's top heaven. And the defuse gonna come in before he can even get there. Loud, match point.
Match point.
Win. Show me where to go.
Aspas still has the op. Be a bit of a potentially, all right, yeah, they're buying down, but they're buying down to put him away.
Crew so close to making this a 2-0 on Ascent. And now they slip right as they get the lead from a disgusting comeback. Loud series point. Relying again on the double dive, going super fast towards B. Spike not picked up, so it's not a full commit, but they're looking for a pick.
Yeah, and half the dive is still playing mid-map.
And Kaunzin just got a spray on the ore pickup out of Melzer. And now he has his Seekers too. So if they want to pivot, they're going to pop Klaus as well, though. He pops his first. And they're denied out of mid. Completely denied, or back up.
They're having to waste so much utility or invest so much utility in order to try to
Getting in front of
establish
the
control
orb
here.
They're gonna go for the triples.
Concussed.
No, not dropping the orb. It looked like Les just wants to reestablish rope control instead.
I thought they wanted to go as well, yeah.
There's no options here for Crew. Loud are working so hard to maintain this undefeated position in the standings.
Here.
And this was of their own making. Obviously, they lost Pearl early on. That should have been their map win, given the history.
30 seconds left.
Crew relegated to going to the only area of the map that they have not explored, and that's towards A, and that's when the Seekers are in their face. Aspas with a warning shot, a second misses, but
Who's
Nax
backside
falls.
still?
Just 3 left,
Oh, no.
and they all fall just like that. Loud
Defenders
bend,
win.
but they don't break, and the perfect series continues.
6-0. 6-0 the record for Loud. And it's so interesting because so often they do get pushed, but they come back. Honestly, looking stronger in some cases, weaker in others, but easily the best team in the Americas League right now. They're the team to beat as we head into playoffs. And they maintain their first seed for now. Still 3 matches to play, but they clinch playoffs.
I mean, they got pushed. They got pushed, and I think under normal circumstances, you look at that if you're Crew and you go, yeah, I mean, we just tested them, right? We hit them with a lot, but
Yeah.
then you remember, oh, we're now 0-6. Right.
And unfortunately, I mean, the legacy for this team, they used to be the Brazil Killers at the beginning of this league. That started off falling. Furia beat them immediately. And from then, it's just gone from bad to worse. And at this point for them, the run that they would have to have relies on so many outside factors of other teams also fumbling in the last 3 matches, and they would have to win out. They would have to win out to go 3-6 at the end. It's tough.
Yeah.
It looks like right now the legacy has ended for Crew to go to every single international event.
We use the word a lot, but this really feels like it would require a miracle.
Yeah.
For them to pull it off. Meanwhile, some smiles out from Loud, not many, but some smiles nonetheless as they once again take down Crew, and they gave them all they could handle. But yeah, I said this a couple times at the beginning of the season. It doesn't always have to be pretty.
No.
And this wasn't necessarily pretty for Loud, but the win's a win.
Win's a win. I felt like there was some of those at lock-in as well, where they get pushed, but come through. I mean, there's a game against Carmine or Gen G, every single one. It feels like Loud definitely are able to just switch something on when they get pushed.
Yeah.
And we saw that in this game again. But I have to say, this team is special, man. They have still not lost many games, many series at all. Only 3 teams have done it to them. Crew almost did here, and they were one of them already. It's something special.
It really is. Coming up, we're going to have the deaths breakdown, and we're actually going to have Coach Fraud standing by at the Verizon post-match interview. VCT Americas continues right after this.
Welcome back to the Verizon post-match interview. I am joined by Fraud, coach of Loud. They have just locked in playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Loud as they are going to be heading over to Tokyo, most likely, getting that first place if you can keep it rolling. I got questions for you, though. It's been a long time coming, man. This is a far cry from Ventrilo parties back in the day, back in the CS days. It's always good to see you. Congratulations on all the success. Starting off for this season, Loud's amazing. They're undefeated now. And for a lot of people, that it looks amazing for you guys that nobody can beat you, but you are dropping maps. What's going on this season that it just has allowed teams to kind of creep up on you?
I think the level of play has definitely stepped up a bit. I think NA, I mean, obviously all the other regions are very good, but I think NA as a whole is probably one of the most skilled regions individually. We've also played quite a lot of matches, especially since lock-in. So I think we're probably one of the most watched teams right now. So I think that we probably need to just discuss more things, change a little bit more of our game plans, and maybe surprise people a little bit more rather than, you know, continuing to do some of the things that we do. But ultimately, a win's a win. Doesn't really matter how it comes. And for us, we're really happy to continue the streak going.
What has been the focus for Loud, seeing that the first map of these series has kind of been where the struggle is, and then it's almost just like confidence phase comes on and the team picks it up for the series?
Yeah, I think for us, it's just a slow start. I mean, you know, we discuss it all the time. We have a lot of conversations. We're trying to get more active before the games. But ultimately, it's you know, just situations that we got to step up and we have to realize and be honest with ourselves to bring a little more energy, more intensity in that first game. I'm not saying that we don't, but we just really need to focus on that to give ourselves a better chance at closing out the series quicker.
I hear the players saying it too, come in a little tired and then you wake up and get into the game. And that, I kind of come to you for a little bit of that. Coaching methods, like crafting this winning team. How do you keep that competitive mentality at its peak? You're winning every time. It's easy to kind of rest back and say we're the best. How do you keep the guys going?
We take one game at a time. So once that game's over, we forget about it, regardless of the outcome. So we're always focused on the next match. Our next opponent's our toughest opponent. And like I said, every team here is very talented. So for us, we just have to forget about the good that we do and continue to try and keep this streak up because everyone's gunning for us. We have a target on our back and we understand this. But ultimately, we just need to really focus up and continue to do what we're doing.
Absolutely. I want to focus on you a little bit here as we close out the interview. You've had an illustrious career, legendary coaching player as well in the TAC FPS scene. You move over to a different country, didn't know Portuguese, and you're able to bring a team to arguably the best team in the world at this point still. How did you do it? What was kind of the mentality, and what do you do to keep yourself going?
For me, it's kind of the same thing as like even if you win something, you forget about it. You gotta have a short-term memory with your success because the next success is always the best one. For me also, I was helping Loud at Champs, got some familiarize myself with them a little bit. And my family being from Cuba, it didn't take me too long to pick up Portuguese. So for me, it was pretty smooth, and I think it's been an amazing time. It's always been a dream of mine to compete with a different team from a different country. And Brazil is one of the best regions when it comes to TAC FPS. So for me, just really honored to be part of this team and this family and the whole Brazilian community.
Well, the way you, the org, everybody has tackled this series, this season has been amazing. Everybody, let's hear it for Loud one more time. Locking in playoffs, the first team to do so. Let's throw it back to the desk to see what they have to say.
Thank you so much, Riv. And unfortunately, I think Tactibear took too much croupium and we had to cut him off. But that is the world we live in, where Loud once again defies the odds and finds a way to pull out a 2-1 win despite losing map 1. Welcome back, Golden Boy, here alongside with Mimi and Sean. As it really, it is awesome to just see this Loud team. Also great to see Fraud always, but it's just great to see this Loud team. Just when you think that they have found themselves in a rut, they pull themselves out of it. Mimi, it's incredible.
It's incredible. Seriously, 3 games in a row where it's the exact same thing. You lose map 1 in dominant fashion for your opponent.
Can't keep
barely
getting away
scrape
with
by in map 2 with Osprey's popping off. And then pull things out on the 3rd map. The ability for this squad to keep their mental steady, to come back in the middle of series, it's insane.
I know they didn't win lock-in, but they just have the fight of a champion in them. Like it is very, very hard to beat Loud in a best-of-3 because of this. You know, even on a day where they don't bring their A game or they don't wake up and get the right warm-up in or have the right breakfast, they're still gonna destroy you later on in the series when they warm up. And it is going to be a very hard-fought series for whoever beats them. Like Fnatic, for example, at Lock-In, they really had to earn that win. And it still remains where they've only lost to 3 orgs, like KRU, Optic, and Fnatic. Those are the only ones. And that just shows, how deep this team is and how on top of metas they are. Think about all the metas we've gone through. This team is so impressive.
I mean, they were the best team in the Chamber meta, arguably kind of next to Optic there, won a tournament there.
Won a
they're
world
coming into this year.
championship.
They're the one who's defining the Harbor Viper meta, and they're still willing to innovate and try new things. It's an incredible journey for Loud, but you also have to give credit to KRU because they've really pushed them in this series.
Sure,
Loud was having an off day, but for a team that was 0-5, now 0-6, playing with the substitute against the best team in our league, being able to take a map off them and play them so close is very impressive.
Yeah, and also, too, when you think about, a history of sports as well as esports, right, and you think of winless teams, right, my mind immediately goes to, the Shanghai Dragons, right?
Yeah.
One of the most incredible winless runs we've ever seen. But they, unfortunately, no disrespect, but they were not competitive that season at all with any of the teams. To see a winless team like KRU come in at 0-5 and be competitive with a 5-0 team, that is not natural, Sean. So you got to give credit to KRU, and you also got to give credit to Shetty for coming in and filling that role.
It's definitely not natural. It's not normally. It's definitely not normally. The way that KRU approached this series is super impressive. They had a lot of adjustments to deal with the things that Loud does really well. I was impressed by Split, how they took control of ramps. They got that pick. They fall off, and they let Loud re-clear that area only to later pounce on an empty A site. That was the round that Sadak read the whole situation wrong. KRU have improved week to week, but it's still, it's so heartbreaking to not have a win on that column this deep into the season. And I just hope that the players keep bringing that high level because I know that win is going to happen. I don't know who it's going to happen against.
But it's going to happen.
They're going to ruin someone's playoffs hopes in these last 3 weeks.
Yeah, and that's their chance now. They can just play spoiler throughout the rest of the season. This is a squad that I think there was very direct parallels to EG, where it started off really, really bad, and we were doom and gloom about them. But every match they've played, we've seen some improvement. Maybe bar that NRG game where they looked really rough. Today, I think they took a complete 180 from that. There were still moments where we saw that team with all the unforced errors, making big mistakes. But we also saw the team that was KRU when they were great. We saw the moments that made this squad quality, the fantastic individual plays from this team, the fast reactions out of them. You do have to give them the credit, but they're still 0-6, and that's a testament to how good everyone in this league is.
Yeah, it truly is. This is a very competitive season that we've been treated to across all the regions, to be completely honest with you. It's been excellent. But really, when you think about that series and you look at stats, there's one player in particular who kind of really rode the flow of this series, and that's Tui's, because it starts off with him really just struggling early on. I believe, they were on Pearl, and he was, 3-17 to start.
Yeah, that's a map that typically he has a lot of impact with his util. But, I mean, you have to put up more kills than that. So it's just super telling that a player like Tui is new to this team, very inexperienced on the international level, can bounce back like that deep in a series. Because we only give credit to Osbus and maybe Sadak for doing those things, but it's actually happening to the newer players that Loud has added to the team as well.
Yeah. And you could see it on his face, right? Once they were down, after his struggles, he dialed in. He was so focused for that final map and stepped up his performance incredibly. We forget about this a lot because Loud is so good, but 4 out of 5 of the players on this team are under 20. It is all super young, super new players. You don't have anyone who's like a CS veteran, who's been playing Valorant since release, who's been on top in esports for ages. They don't really have that player, but they still have that mental resiliency when series get hard to come back, to rally their individual gameplay, and also to stick to the game plan. It is truly incredible what Loud can do.
Yeah, I really do love just how different we have for all these teams, whether it's Energy with the veterans or even, Sentinels as well. But then you look at Loud and you have youth on that team, and it's just what they've managed to build on Loud is nothing short of remarkable, and they definitely deserve that win today. And speaking of wins, let's go ahead and take a look at our standings, see where we are right now, because Loud have officially locked it in. Now, I've trolled trolled everyone earlier on the show and said that Cloud9 have locked it in for sure, but they have not yet. A win next week will secure their spot in playoffs. But for right now, Brazilian fans across the world and across the Americas region will be very happy knowing that Loud will be representing them in the playoffs.
It's going to be fantastic to see them in playoffs. I think you heard it in the interview. There's an expectation they'll be one of our representatives to Tokyo as well. This team is looking unstoppable. And Sean, that's despite what you said, in them looking out of form in the last week and a half.
They look out of form. That's the thing heading into playoffs. They will have to up their gear a little bit
agree.
heading into playoffs. I mean, their opponents that they're kind of dropping maps off right now are a little bit, lesser opponents than the ones they'll probably be facing on this road to Tokyo. So while a win today is great for Loud, it secured their playoff berth. I'd like to see more out of them entering, as we get closer to playoffs here.
There's almost kind of an opposite trajectory, I think, between them and some of the teams they beat early on. For Loud, they've continued to win, but they've looked weaker in form compared to both Cloud9 and NRG that Loud has already beaten, who have really found a 180 in their gameplay and have looked incredible. And those are two teams that I would expect Loud to play in playoffs if they can clinch it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's the schedule for next week. What we're going to be seeing on Saturday is we have EG taking on Sentinels. After this weekend, that matchup got a lot more interesting. And then we have Cloud9 facing off against MIBR. Is C9 going to continue their reign of dominance as the top NA team? Or will the Brazilians find a way to shock the world and walk away with a win? That is going to be a very exciting weekend, and just the implications. We were building it up this week, but really next week, Sean, that's going to be it. Like, it is do or die for a lot of these teams.
Dude, imagine if EG beat Sentinels.
It's so possible.
It is so possible.
I do not want to be on Twitter
No.
when that happens, bro.
EG already beat Leviathan.
If that happens.
I mean, anything can happen. Next week has
True.
big implications for playoffs. Teams that we thought were a surefire lock for playoffs are struggling right now. Leviathan 3-3, Furia at risk as well. Teams that are down there still have a chance. EG Crew could make a miracle run. There's a lot on the line still.
And NRG. I
Yeah.
mean, so many teams.
Well, I was actually going to note that because you were talking about what we're going to be seeing moving forward, and I'm looking here. So, Crew,
Okay.
win that. 100 Thieves is up next for Loud. Okay, that is a winnable game for Loud.
Yeah.
NRG after that. Leviathan to close it out.
Oh, I forgot. Wait, I was trolling. Loud haven't played NRG.
No, they have not,
Oh my
Mimi.
God. I was thinking of Cloud9. You're right. And NRG's looking.
Yes.
No,
That's
this is
also
crazy.
the Optic versus Loud rivalry renewed. They have a tough
Yeah.
strength of schedule.
That is going to be quite exciting to check out. And really, the fun doesn't stop there, by the way. We come right back to you guys May 3rd, EMEA, Fnatic, Vitality. That's the opener there. May 6th, Talon, Gen G on the Pacific region. There's just so much to watch this week. So make sure you tune in to not just the Americas, but everywhere else around the world. Ain't that right, Mimi?
Yeah, challengers too, man. It
Challengers?
is getting spicy
Nice.
right now. You've got some fantastic players in that.
And I think Game Changers around the corner, maybe?
Just finished up.
Just finished up.
But
So
soon.
sorry. Yes.
I think some of the other regions are getting their game changers.
That's
I
right.
think EMEA might have just finished, but I'm not sure about the other regions. So check
Yeah.
it out. There's too much Valorant.
My
to remember.
brain can't handle all of the Valorant, but thankfully, that's why I have you amazing people. Thank you so much for helping me throughout
I
the
also
weekend.
can't remember. This guy can though.
I can't remember anything.
Oh, that's tough.
Hey, man, you were a coach, and then you were a slam pro-it. Dude, you're just
He can do
everywhere.
it
I didn't remember any of that stuff.
All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for us here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And, of course, as always, here are your Prime Gaming post-day highlights. We'll see you next weekend. Take care, everybody. Today, David takes on Goliath yet again, but this time Goliath happens to be named Aspas.
Maybe Ashhead can do something about this. So he's gotten the first kill on a Kawasi, and he gets the second on. Okay, this kid's good.
Oh, hello.
The only way he gets threatened is if they lose backside, and they have. But how much more value can they find? They're pushing right into him. That's the pit. That's the round. Squad has already taken backside, but with the flash in his face, he still gets both. Crew finds success on Pearl.
Their first map win outside of Ascent, and they will start with a lead against Loud.
This is still not secured. Yeah, this is still not secured. Melzer with 3 massive kills.
What is that round for Melzer?
We'll see if Crew find some more success, it doesn't seem to be the case. They've salvaged control of the site, but they just don't have the guns to fight back, man.
Oh my goodness, what is that? Loud, clean this up. Hold on to it, unless he goes for a flash, he does.
And he does, and he gets the kill. He gets them both. As much as things change, they stay the same. It's another defensive side win. It's got to be fast, though. There it is. Even in the face of the molly, he's able to get the kill. Kessner trying to play back site. Kawazine getting pressed, and he gets 3.
Taking down everybody else. Oh! Woo! And Crew have just put together 3 in a row. All of a sudden, they're still in this.
Kessner trying to buy some time and provide some cover, but Aspas wants to hunt.
What a molly.
And they all fall just like that. Loud bend, but they don't break, and the perfect series continues.